Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, everyone. Today we will try to explain all the important things related with Gelecek zaman, that's mean future tense. I will take all the pronouns. We know in Turkish language we have six pronouns: ben, sen, on, biz, siz, onlar. And I will focus how we can use this form, gelecek zaman, for future tense like we want, with not and without. And after that, with a question mark on without. The last situation will be how we can use not and question mark at the same form. Let's start from easier one, how we can use this form without not, without question mark, okay? It's the easier one. Let's start from the first pronouns, ben, that's mean me. Let's actually I take the few verbs as examples. Yapmak, doing, yemek, eating, söylemek, seeing, kahvaltı etmek. Here, etmek has two meaning. First one, prepare this breakfast. Second one is eating this meal. And içmek, drink. How we can deal with all of these basic situation, how I can say yes. Like we know this form, we can't use this form directly. Mak, mek are at with all of these verbs in the exam. We will note many verbs in the grammar section like that. The first situation, the first step, we must do that, delete or ignore mak, mek, to be like that. Yap, ye, söyle, kahvaltı et, iç. And like we know, like I explained at the previous lecture, all of these situations without mak and mek, that's mean we dealing with order verb form, exactly was said with you, I mean, okay? Now, let's keep going to finish this first one. Yep, here, like I explained, this group will dealing with ajak. The second one will dealing with ejek. That's mean, like I said before, depending on the vowel letter, in which kind, and after that select ajak or ejek, which appropriate, which one is appropriate. And after that, we will put the appropriate verb to be related with our pronouns. Okay, that's mean like this form, verb, the base form, plus ajak or ejek, plus delta m, because we're talking about ben. But here, k, after, when we have k and after that, we will write another vowel letter. Here, this K will convert to yumuşrage and approximately will be silent. Now let's solve all of these five verbs. Will be yapacağım, yiyeceğim, söyleyeceğim. Here, these two kinds is important. Why? Because I have vowel letter. And after that, I have another vowel letter because that I put it this in Turkish, we can say ye between these two vowel letters to be yiyeceğim. Because like I said before, Turkish language like tone, like French language, approximately tone. Because that when I put another Y here, the pronunciation will be easier to us. Söyleyeceğim and kahvaltı edeceğim. Here we have another situation. Etmek, like here, but I said and I written edeceğim. D instead of T, because here when I have T and after that I will write another vowel letter, T will be D, to be edeceğim. Like here, K, when converted this letter to be yumuşrage and keep going to make the pronunciation easier. And we can't understand all the principal grammars to each language. Why? Because the native speaker makes something like that. We will follow the native speakers, like when we learn English language or whatever, any, doesn't matter, any language you will learn it, you must follow the native speakers to this language. Now let's talk about sen, that's mean you. The same form, sen, verb, basic form, sure, acak, ecek, S delta, and here it's not necessary to put another Y because here I don't have, it's not necessary to convert K because I don't have a vowel letter after it. Because that will be verb acak, ecek plus S delta N to be like that. Yapacaksın, yiyeceksin. The same situation here, between these two vowel letters. Söyleyeceksin, kahvaltı edeceksin, not edeceksin, edeceksin, because here I have vowel letter, içeceksin. Now let's talk about the easier pronounce O. That means he or she. Like I said before, in Turkish language, we don't have any difference between he or she. All of them, we can say O to them, okay? Yapacak will be, let's take a look to this form, verb, acak, ecek, and without any add, because it's easier pronounced in Turkish language, will be yapacak, yiyecek, söyleyecek, kahvaltı edecek, içecek. Now let's talk about biz, we, and verb. The same situation with ben, K will convert to yumuşrage and plus delta Z instead of delta M. Yapacağız, yiyeceğiz, söyleyeceğiz, kahvaltı edeceğiz, içeceğiz. Now siz, that's mean you, or we can say all of you. Siz, the base form of verb, acak, ecek, S, delta, and delta Z. I explained the previous lectures what that's mean delta. It's some vowel letter to make something like tone in Turkish language. Will be yapacaksınız, yiyeceksiniz, söyleyeceksiniz, kahvaltı edeceksiniz, içeceksiniz. Now let's talk about the last one, onlar, them. Yapacaklar. Let's take a look to this form, onlar, base form to be acak, ecek, plus lar or ler. That's dependent on the vowel letter we're dealing with. Acak, lar, ecek, ler are the same tone. Yapacaklar, yiyecekler, söyleyecekler, kahvaltı edecekler, içecekler. Now let's talk about how we can use question mark without not. The same situation, almak, vermek, vurmak, koşmak, yüzmek. How we can dealing with all of them? We will delete makmek and dealing with the base form of these verbs, plus acak or ecek. This the first setup we will do it. After that, we know I'm dealing with ben, I must put a verb to be related with ben, that's mean delta M, okay? And when I want to ask about something with all these pronouns, I will use M delta. What that's mean? That's mean will be the base form to this verb plus ajak or ajak, and after that some space, question tool, M delta, and after that I will put the verb to be, appropriate verb to be related with bed. Because here I have two vowel letters, what I must put Y between them to be alacak meme. Let's take a look to this form. Ben, verb, ajak, ejek, M delta, Y. It's condition because here at all the situation when we're dealing with Ben, we have to following vowel verb letters, sorry. To be like that. Alacak meme, verecek miyim, vuracak mıyım, koşacak mıyım, yüzecek miyim? Like I written below how we can use, how we can ask by using future tense, how we can put note with the future tense form, and keep going. We will discuss the note situation in the next slides. Now send the same situation with some difference, simple difference. Send, verb, ajak, ejek. And after that, M delta, S delta N. Or we can say directly like that. Missing or musin, dependent on ajak or ejek. Okay? Alacak missing. Are you taking it? Verecek misin? Alacak mısın? Are you, will you take it? Verecek misin? Vermek, that's mean put. Oh, sorry, or we can say it's approximately give. Will you give it? Vuracak, vur, that's mean hit. Vurmak. Verecek misin? Vuracak mısın? Will you hit him or hit whatever? In Turkish language, the situation is different. Maybe we will not mention about which pronouns he talking about. We can use this form about one pronouns. Not always will do mention to the next pronouns. Maybe he looking to this, he or she, doesn't matter. We must focus about it. When the other translator try to translate series or movie, it's, we can say it's difficult because two situation, because two reasons. The first one, you must listen to all the statements because the verb at the last, you can imagine this guy talking about what. And the second one about he or she, we must imagine from the statements he talk about his mother, girlfriend, his friend, and after that you can write the translates below. Vuracak mısın? Koşacak mısın? Yüzecek misin? The easier one, o alacak mı? Verecek mi? Vuracak mı? Koşacak mı? Yüzecek mi? Like we seeing here, verb, ajak, ejek, and after that, me or me. Here, in grammar, we can't say me, but no one say that. The native speaker say me, but we write it like that, depending on ejek or ajak. And the question mark at the last. Now we pronounce biz, alacak means, verecek means, vuracak means, koşacak means, yüzecek means, like this form. Actually, I'm using different colors to can note, to can do something like mentions to make the other know the difference in this form and know the difference with the others to make the situation be easier to us. Here, I used another ring, another color about why. To note, we have two following vowel letters. Some similarity with Ben, but here delta Z instead of delta M. Siz alacak mısınız, verecek misiniz, vuracak mısınız, koşacak mısınız, yüzecek misiniz? And this form M delta plus S delta and delta Z, and we have just two situations instead of 4 or 5, because we have two conditions, ajak or ajak. Now let's talk about onlar and how we can ask with this pronouns. Onlar, verb, ajak, ejek, lar, ler, and after that question mark. Here the situation is different. At all the previous pronouns, we was put the verb to be related with which pronoun we dealing with at after the question mark, but here the situation is different. We will put the verb to be related with this pronoun before question mark, like add with the verb form. To be like that, onlar alacaklar mı, verecekler mi, vuracaklar mı, koşacaklar mı, yüzecekler mi? Now let's talk about how we can put notes with this form. The same situation. Just notes in Turkish language, specifically with this kind of tense, just will be ma or me, depending on the vowel letters, we know. But it's different from English language because note here, it's dependent word. But here in Turkish language, it's like add, because that we will put it directly after the basic form of the verb to be verb ma, me, and here y will be something like condition because we have two following vowel letters, and after that verb to be delta M. Vurmak will be vurmayacağım, yemeyeceğim, almayacağım, görmeyeceğim. If we noted that English language is different from Arabic language and English language, the base form of the eating verb is just these two letters. And now let's take a look to all of these letters. We must the right pronunciation to situations like that. We must say all of these letters together because all of these is one word. Yemeyeceğim. In English language, I will not eat. I will not eat, from 4 parts. But in Turkish, all of these made from 1 part. Almayacağım, I will not take it. It. But here, I didn't mention about I will not take what. Görmeyeceğim, I will not see it. Now, sen vurmayacaksın. Let's take a look to this form. To be vurmayacaksın, yemeyeceksin, almayacaksın, görmeyeceksin. Now the easier one, vurmayacak, yemeyecek, almayacak, görmeyecek. Biz, this form, verb mame, some similarity with ben. We must put y here. And k will convert to mushragate and delta z. To be vurmayacağız, yemeyeceğiz, almayacağız, görmeyeceğiz. We will not see, we will not take, we will not eat, we will not hit. Siz, some difference with the previous form. Vurmayacaksınız, yemeyeceksiniz, almayacaksınız, görmeyeceksiniz. Now, onlar, where plus mame and y plus acak plus lar or lar. Vurmayacaklar, yemeyecekler, almayacaklar, görmeyecekler. We have important notes. If you didn't watch the previous lectures, no way you will not can understand I'm talking about what. Because simply you don't have any idea about the tone in Turkish language, the vowel letters, and how we can dealing with it. Now let's talk about the last situation, how we can put note and question mark at the same time. Actually, verb, the base form, mayacak or meyecek, it's easier. The notes here after the base form of verb, question mark and protect letter plus verb to be of n is delta n. To be like that, almayacak mıyım, vurmayacak mıyım, vermeyecek miyim, vurmayacak mıyım, koşmayacak mıyım, yüzmeyecek miyim? Sen almayacak mısın? Vermeyecek misin? At first, let's take a look to this form. And after that, let's solve the other. Almayacak mısın? Vermeyecek misin? Vurmayacak mısın? Koşmayacak mısın? Yüzmeyecek misin? Now, the easier one, or like here. Almayacak mı, vermeyecek mi, vurmayacak mı, koşmayacak mı, yüzmeyecek mi? Here, or he, or she, or it, we don't know. Maybe he talking about cat, dog, mouse, we don't know. Bees, by take a look to this form. Almayacak mıyız, vermeyecek miyiz, vurmayacak mıyız, koşmayacak mıyız, yüzmeyecek miyiz? Siz almayacak mısınız, vermeyecek misiniz, vurmayacak mısınız, koşmayacak mısınız, yüzmeyecek misiniz? The form here. Now the last pronouns is onlar, how we can dealing with it by follow this form. To be almayacaklar mı, vermeyecekler mi, vurmayacaklar mı, koşmayacaklar mı, yüzmeyecekler mi? Like I said before, here the situation is different from all the previous pronouns because at all the previous pronouns was put the appropriate verb to be at the last, or we can say after question tool. But here we will put it like at, after a jack or a jack, a jack or a jack. And the question mark, the question tool will be lonely, like all pronoun situation. That's it. Our lecture is done. I hope it was helpful. Have a good day. Have a good day and see you in the next lecture.